Oh, hello,
Mr.
Jake.
Menken, how are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you?
Doing well. So good to talk to you again. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
My pleasure.
So I'm just going to jump into it. First of all, I just want to say congratulations on achieving the EGOT. One of only 16 people on the planet to have achieved such a thing, which is, it doesn't surprise me that you've done it. But I've got to ask, does it give you a new perspective on your career? Do you look at your legacy any differently now?
Um, I've been so blessed. I mean, with or without the EGOT, I pinch myself every day. So it's the thing about the EGOT is people would talk about it for years. Oh, you could get the EGOT now. I go, well, yeah, I guess. Oh no, you're gonna get the EGOT this time. So they finally kept bringing it up so much that I finally said, okay, let's get this sucker out of the way. Because we were nominated. I already had an honorary EGOT back in the 80s when Howard Ashman and I wrote a song, an anti-drug song that Roy Disney had asked us to write. And then came a nomination for Gallivant, and another one for Gallivant, and then one for the Tangled show. And it was like, I was getting, okay, all right. Like Charlie Brown in the football, you know?
You know that you're good whenever an EGOT is something that you just go, okay, fine, let's just get out of the way. I'll achieve it.
Well,
this thing.
Jake, I have a REGOT because I won the Razzie Award for Worst Song of the Year for Newsies. Back when it first opened, High Times, Hard Times from Newsies won. That was the same night. I found out about it. I was backstage at the Oscars having won for Beauty and the Beast. They said, how does it feel to win Worst Song of the Year? And I went, ha, ha, ha. No, seriously. And yeah.
Wow, that kind of humbles you in a moment like you're holding your.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It gives you a good kick in the butt, just when you need it.
I want to talk about the concept of what you do is astounding. I just feel like your brain has to work differently than the rest of ours. So I'm just wondering if you could sort of give me like the layman's version, the cliff notes, like of how you write a song for something like Whole New World. Like where do you begin when you put pen to paper, and what is that journey from writing those first few words to it's one of the most iconic songs of all time?
Well, wow. There's a lot that go, before my hands go near the piano, there's a lot of work. One part is, what's the story we're telling? What vocabulary are we using to tell the story? What moment in the story are we in? What might the song remind us of? Because music is a vocabulary. You pull on all these, very familiar threads, and I remember the floating through the sky and feeling like it had this arpeggio, and it just felt like we'd be flying over the skies, and then I sent Tim Rice a piece of music and a dummy lyric just to give him a sense of where I thought, the structure might be. And in my structure, I actually sent him a piece of music that went, the world at my feet. Very Spanish, very, very wisely, Tim felt that maybe the word feet would be better not in the title of a Disney love song. But you want to be in the moment, very engaged with collaborators, knowing this is what the song should be. If I was going to take a song from the outside and put it in this moment, what would it be? Because, our job is to do something that's going to have a first listening impact on people, where they get from the very first note, oh, I get where this is going. I get what this is.
That's so cool. Honestly, I still get, you and I obviously met in person a couple of years ago here in Chicago and you had the piano. I get chills just hearing you just go over there and just start playing the keys. I've got to say, I have probably spent, as a guy, I grew up in the Disney Renaissance. So like you wrote the soundtrack to my childhood growing up, and I have had your songs stuck in my head for the better part of 30 years. Do you get your own songs stuck in like we get songs that you write in our head. Do you get your own songs stuck in your head?
Yeah, sometimes I do. And sometimes something be stuck in my head. I go, is that mine, or is that Paul McCartney, or is that Elton John, whatever. And I go, oh, wait, that's mine. Oh, nice. And certainly, if I'm working on something actively, those songs are most, imprinted in my brain at that moment.
Kevin Bacon tells a great story about whenever he goes to a wedding or to a party, he will pay the DJ to not play Footloose just because he doesn't want the pressure of everyone watching him. So I'm sort of curious, when you go to a party and there's a piano there, do people ever look at you and go like, Alan, like, come on, man, like, go on over, give us
Sure.
something.
Sometimes.
Isn't that pressure? Like, do you ever feel like, come on, like, I just want, no.
Well, it depends on whether I've had 2 martinis at the party. I was at a party. I remember Tom Schumacher was at Walter Theatrical, and a wonderful party, and he had these. Well, they were making wonderful martinis, and he said, "Alan,
2 martinis, and I would be at the piano too."
I sat down and I went, "I don't remember my songs," but no, I don't mind it at all. It's because what I think, as you know, I love doing these little medleys where I'll just sort of skip a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and a little bit of that. Probably because I'm sort of ADD. I get impatient when I'm just playing one song. So I don't mind it particularly. And if I do, I just say, sorry, no.
not feeling it. Not feeling it. I want to talk about your history of at the Oscars. You won more Oscars than anyone alive. Can I ask do you have them? Are they around, or are they? Oh, that's how many you have. That's insane.
I have 8 of them. I just
8 of them.
Knock something off my desk. I'll pick it up later.
You
Yeah.
could juggle with. You could light them on fire and juggle with them.
Oh, I'd like to. If I have 2 more, then I can have a bowling alley.
Oh, and please invite me over for that game. I'm down for that.
So disrespectful. No.
But I want to talk about winning the first one compared to winning the 8th one. The first one, like, oh my God, it's my first Oscar win. By the 8th one, are you sort of like, okay, like, I got to make another trip to the Oscar stage? Like, here we go again.
No, it's it actually gets, in a way, harder each time, because I always feel like, oh, why didn't I say this when I was up there, or why was I just reading that card and not really telling them how I feel? And I go, okay, this time I'll get it better.
You got 8 tries at it, man.
I did get 8.
You should have perfected the Oscar speech by now.
Yeah, I didn't. And then they stopped giving, after Pocahontas, I stopped getting them. So, we'll see. But the first one, as I remember, we were there for Little Mermaid. We had been nominated for Little Shop of Horrors, A Mean Green Mother from Outer Space. And we were for that one, we were at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in this row, it's just long row in the middle of that row. And I remember clutching at my speech, going, because when Levi Stubbs came out to sing Mean Green Mother from Outer Space, which was the song we were nominated for, and Howard's hand just came over and went, you can relax, you're not winning any awards tonight. But the next time for Mermaid, we were right on the aisle, close to the stage. It was clear somebody expected us to win. When we won, I won first for score, very exciting. I got up, I felt like a mule had kicked me in the back. It was just like, you're like that, I don't know, this constriction of my muscles or something. It was like, ah. And it's an out-of-body experience being up there. I think it was Steve Martin. Yeah, it was Steve Martin who gave me that award.
Wow.
And I remember getting in the elevator after clutching the award with Steve, and I said, I guess I should make small talk. And it's a very special feeling, no question.
I want to talk about next year is the 30th anniversary of Beauty and the Beast, which is just astounding to me. And that was obviously the first animated film ever nominated for Best Picture. Do you feel around that era, the era that a lot of people started referring to as the Disney Renaissance, that people started to take just the world of animation more seriously?
Well, I think what happened was one of the great American art forms is Disney animation, especially when Walt was alive. You think about Snow White and Cinderella and Pinocchio and all those, and that was gone. And so with Little Mermaid, and with Roy Disney being our patron saint of saying we really wanted to reinvigorate that form, when that form came back the way it did, I think with the integrity that it came back with, people were, it like awakened this hunger they didn't know they had. It was like, oh my God, it's Disney animation again. And so there was a huge affection, and it remains, to this day. But certainly then, especially, the expectations weren't that high in the outside world. It was like, a hunger you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
And yeah, with Mermaid, and then with Beauty, and then with Aladdin and Lion King, and just go on from there. It was remarkable.
Your songs have already, like, they've been some of the most iconic songs ever written, and then they have been attached to some of the most beautiful scenes and animation and emotion ever put to any film, not just animation, to any film. What is the song that you wrote that you feel like was most elevated by the scene that it was placed into?
Interesting. You know what? I think maybe I See the Light from Tangled.
Yeah.
That beautiful scene with those lanterns. That was amazing. But, but if I say Part of Your World, everyone is going to go to Ariel and the Grotto. Mm-hmm. If I say Beauty and the Beast, you're going to go to Belle and the Beast dancing. If I go to A Whole New World, you're going to go to that magic carpet. If I go Colors of the Wind, you're going to see Pocahontas's hair, flowing in the wind. So, and one of the things that, when I was a kid, we had Fantasia, and the marriage of visuals to the classical music was just amazing. I couldn't believe it. I've always loved Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony because of that scene, or the Night on Bald Mountain, or Sorcerer's Apprentice, or you name it. But whatever was in, Fantasia, it just gloms onto your memory. And the marriage of visuals and music and songs is it's amazing, and it certainly helps, in terms of people appreciating the song.
Well, I think marriage is the right word, because you can't think of those songs without thinking of those images. And if you saw those images muted, you would instantly hear the song in your head. So they're kind of synonymous. Is there a Disney movie that you didn't get the chance to write the music for that you would have loved to write a song or two for?
Oh. Huh. I don't know. Lion King? I don't know. I don't really look at other projects. The projects that are mine, mm-hmm. And if they're not mine, I just sort of go, okay, that's yours.
Yeah. Enjoy.
These are my babies. So it's like saying, have you ever look at another child and wish that was your child? Yeah. But I any of them I love writing for, and some of the ones I've had that have been huge flops, like poor Home on the Range. Remember that?
I liked Home on the Range.
Well, there's no accounting for taste. What can I say? The songs were pretty good. But there's moments from those that I just, I love, and I feel very attached to. So yeah, for me, they are kind of my family, and any of the Disney animated that I've seen are absolutely magnificent.
Well, even, I don't think it necessarily maybe has the status of like an Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid, but like, I think your music in Hercules is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, well, Hercules now its time has come. No, Hercules, we did this theatrical production in Central Park last summer. Mm-hmm. It was the hardest ticket to get. And now we have an adaptation ready to go for Broadway, once Broadway is able to reopen.
And aren't they going live action with it as well?
That is the plan.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how concrete the plan is. Right now, you can't get actors into the same room with each other, so we kind of just wait. But you heard, just like Newsies. Newsies won the Razzie for Worst Song. Fast forward, I don't know how many years, 20-something years.
Yeah.
And I win my Tony Award for Best Score on Broadway for Newsies. How do you? It's so what happens over time is these projects sort of marinate and germinate.
It's funny what time does to things. It's like
It is.
I would put the Tony right next to the Razzie and just let them just touch each other.
They are pretty close. The
Are
Razzie,
they?
I actually have a physical Razzie Award. They sent it in the mail. As soon as I picked it up, it started to fall apart, which is perfect. It's
Yeah.
this little raspberry started falling off, but I left it in the cabinet just as it is.
That's awesome. You know, I don't want to keep you too long, but I just want to talk about. I did mention how fortunate and how lucky I feel to have grown up in that Disney Renaissance. Like I was taken to the movies by my parents to see your work, and I'm so lucky to have experienced that. And now I don't have kids, but people who grew up in that era like myself are now of the age where they are now passing down those films to their kids. So you're just now, I'd imagine, feeling that next legacy, that next generation. Have you started to notice your work being passed down to that next generation yet?
Well, the influence is huge, and I'm sort of up close and personal with that because you start with when my success was happening. I kept hearing about this little boy. His name was Lin-Manuel Miranda, and Lin went to Hunter School, and with my niece Jenny. And my sister would say, "This is boy Lin. He's a fanatical fan, and he loves Little Mermaid. And would you sign this poster?" And you flash forward, and now, of course, Lin and I are actually wrote songs together for the new Little Mermaid movie, and we're dear friends. And Bobby Lopez, also I would hear about when he was a kid. I wrote his recommendation for college, and Bobby, of course, wrote Frozen and Book of Mormon and Avenue Q, and Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, who wrote La La Land, and I met them when they were at University of Michigan, or they had graduated, but I met them there because my daughter went there, and we wrote together for the Aladdin movie. So there's this wonderful connection I'm feeling with these artists. I'm collaborating with them. It's I love it. It's if you got to grow old, it's great to feel your influence on other people.
I mean, you could make the argument that there would not be Hamilton if there weren't Alan Menken.
I could make that argument.
Just take it and run with it, man. Take it and run with it. As we wrap up, I don't want to be the guy that screams Freebird at a concert, but can I just get a quick little 30-second medley to share with people on social media, because I know it's going to warm a lot of hearts.
All right. Seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a bit under the sea. Oh my. Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? Let me take you on a journey down. You ain't never had a friend like me. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, where to go. We say we're only dreaming. Whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But now from way up here, it's crystal clear. Now I'm in a whole new world with you.
I'm giving you a virtual hug right now.
All right, give it back to you.